Welcome to Answer the Question. Today, we're actually going to start off with a question, which is, how many people do you think are in the legislative branch of the United States federal government? If you said about 32,000, then that's correct. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the structure of the legislative branch and also where are the policy movers and shakers inside of it. The most prominent institutions in the legislative branch are, of course, the houses of Congress. So there's the House of Representatives, which has 435 voting members and 6 non-voting members, one for each of the self-governing territories and one for DC. And there's the Senate, which has 100 senators, 2 for each of the states. Each of those 541 members has their own personal office, which is filled with staff. And there are about 11,000 of these personal congressional staff members across all of the offices for the House and Senate. About 40% of them actually work in their districts, mostly on constituent services, but 60% of them are in DC. And one of the groups in there is the legislative shop. And those are the people that actually work on the portfolio of issues that the congressman is focusing on. In addition to the work that they do on their offices, congressmen will also serve on committees and subcommittees, which are subgroups in Congress which focus on passing laws for particular issue areas. And there are 20 standing committees and 2 select committees in the House. And then there are 16 standing committees and 5 select or special committees in the Senate, plus 4 joint committees for both the Senate and the House. These committees are where most of the real work gets done in Congress. And so each of these committees has their own staff. In fact, the majority and minority parties both maintain separate staffs for each committee. And the staffers on here tend to be a little bit more policy-minded than the personal congressional staffers. In addition to these committee staffers, there's actually 2 more small groups that are employed within Congress proper, and that is the officials and officers of Congress, which serve either the House in their entirety or the Senate in their entirety. And then there are also the leadership staff offices. Moving on from Congress, the rest of the legislative branch staffers work for one of the 6 congressional support agencies, which are these 6. Of these, the 2 most important for policy are the CBO, which is an independent group of economists and budget analysts which estimate the costs of proposed legislation, and the GAO, which is often called the Congressional Watchdog and studies the efficiency of how taxpayer dollars are being spent. And there's also an important subdivision of the Library of Congress called the Congressional Research Service, which does independent analysis of a wide range of issues important to national policy decision making. Thank you for watching. On Friday, we'll be tackling the judicial branch, so I'll see you then.